Hey y'all,
Hi.
welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz,
I'm Carolyn.
and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Tooliz for you, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry and Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. And I really haven't posted anything lately because I've been knitting like a fiend.
Yes, and we do want to acknowledge that the use of Ravelry is extremely hindered right now for those who have visual issues and who cannot access the site and turn it back to a classic mode, and it's not getting better. The response from Ravelry isn't. They won't.
I don't understand.
So you and I are not so affected where we were able to go in and make the change.
Right.
But some people are so affected that they can't even go in and log in and do the two steps to do it.
Because it is there.
Yes.
Okay.
It is there, but it's...
hurts them so much.
Yes.
It's a very bright redo.
It's... I was discussing it with my boyfriend, and I think they're the way we were discussing it, it sounds like there is a strobing effect to being put on the page, like beneath what the eye can fully comprehend.
It's possible.
And that could be causing a lot of the problem. The fact that isn't being addressed, it doesn't sound like it's being addressed. It doesn't feel like people are being heard. We wanted to acknowledge that it is a problem. I'm going to be fixing all of the links down below so that they all go to a classic version. So when you click on the Ravelry links below, they should open in a classic view. I think I found a workaround for that on Instagram earlier this week. But if any of you have troubles and you feel comfortable giving someone your password, and then obviously if you change it afterwards, that's fine. Instagram message me. I'm only affected when I scroll things, so I can log in and make the change back to classic so that you can at least access your library specifically. Because I know I made myself ill the first week that it was put in, and I was still able to convert back, and I've been doing better since. But I want to acknowledge the fact that Ravelry does not seem to be listening to those who are having these problems right now.
Well, I think because they've been so excited about working on this. I mean,
but that's
it's like
great,
forest
but it's
and
not
trees. Well, it's like forest and trees, and it takes
a
little while.
The apology they gave was not an apology.
It may be that it's something that they've been working on so hard that it's going to take them a while to be able to respond appropriately.
But still say, instead of saying that 92% of the users are able to use it without problems, say something, don't say that. That's great. There are people who are having significant medical problems.
I understand. I'm just saying that
I acknowledge it takes a lot of work, Mom.
I expect that they will have an appropriate apology once they
I currently don't expect that from them anymore because it's been 2 weeks.
Well, it may take
know. They have caused physical pain.
I understand that.
So there should be.
I understand that.
There should have been more immediate. If they are so hyped on inclusion, then it should be inclusive. And if it's causing physical pain, it's not inclusive.
I think that's why they put the choice to go back.
But you still have to log in. There are people who are having trouble with even that part.
So I'm just saying, I think that we'll find that...
We will see. There is another... I just started following a bunch of people on Instagram. There's one woman, I believe her name is Liza, I think, and she is working on possibly creating something new. So we'll see. It's always good to have options.
All right.
But I wanted to put that out there because I'm obviously not okay with something causing pain, and there being very little being done about it from my perspective. So, if they end up being able to, be used, that's great.
Exactly.
But it's been 2 weeks, and
I'm not a programming whiz, so for me, 2 weeks would be a mere spit in the wind.
But you also would have said immediately, hey, how can we revert it so that we don't cause people pain? I know you.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, I have greater faith.
I have very little faith in a lot of things right now.
We also want to say that there are some states that are experiencing some severe COVID explosions. Peaks. We're really concerned about everybody, and I hope that you can keep safe. I hope that you can isolate as much as possible. It's difficult. Don't you love this? We went sailing. Can you tell? Mm-hmm. My hair is doing all kinds of things. That's why it's up in the back. Yep. But, do your best to try to keep safe. My husband is teasing me unmercifully that I seem to have set up my entire life just for this one crisis, because I'm one of those kids that really didn't like going outside. I think I've mentioned before that my parents had a house down at the Jersey Shore, and there were days where they were gorgeous outside, and I had a lovely mystery book that I was reading. My brothers would be playing outside. My parents would have been saying to my brother, why don't you come inside and read a book? And they'd be telling me to go outside and play. We can't find your brother. Go find him. Why? Whatever. So
they finally realized it with grandkids. They did force us or not force, but in order to stay at Grandma and Grandpa's for the summer, you had to take a swim class, or you had to do you either had to do swim class or swim team in the mornings, or you had to go for a bike ride.
Right.
That was part of the deal.
Physical activity. So I understand. I guess I can kind of understand people who have a need to go out and be physical, although it's not part of my purview at all. I'd be more than happy just to sit inside and do a bunch of different things. But I have been going out and walking almost every morning. Good. So anywhere from a third of a mile to a full mile, which on my knees is a real feat.
Yeah.
But I want to get it over and done with early in the morning. It's like I'm out there. I have my
and
cup
she
of
has
tea,
a mask.
And then hat, my sun hat, and a mask. And I'm out there doing my laps around the block, probably before 8:00, if at all possible.
But we do want to say,
so it's early, and
yes.
So you're not getting as much sun.
That too. But
so please be safe.
Yes, be safe. And as we've said previously, Black Lives Matter here to us, and
women's rights are human rights.
Yes, and
I'm worried about my Latino friends and families and students.
But just figured we'd do a whole spiel in the beginning this week, just to cover all of those that we. Yeah, so again, if you're going out for protesting, remember to bring a mask and sunscreen and sunscreen, y'all. Sunscreen.
Hats help.
And hats, yes. But I'm just saying.
I once got sun fever from being out on the boat without a hat. Somehow I'd packed my stuff and went out without a hat. It was going to be 95 that day. I thought I was staying in the shade. So wrong. I got home, I drank lots of water, we went to a party, I felt fine, I drank lemonade, we got home and all of a sudden my temperature started going up and I ended up with a fever of 103.
So drink your water, wear your hat, and wear your sunscreen.
Yes, for me a hat is imperative.
Yeah.
It really is. So be safe. Be safe about COVID, be safe if you're marching, try to be safe.
Yes.
Because we don't want to lose you.
No.
I got my glasses. That's
you did get your new glasses.
Well, they're new lens.
Well, yes. But yes, so that is our
public service
announcement. That
I'm dying of heat frustration.
These are things that are going on in the world. We care about them. We are discussing them as a family too, which is very interesting to discuss with Father. As we've discussed, he is a 60-plus-year-old white man. Who
he's rapidly for
he is
all kinds of rights,
but But it's very interesting to discuss it with him because he doesn't see himself as being the stereotypical, like, he doesn't understand that he might, believe in these things and be all for supporting these things and, signing a petition and, donating to, funds in order to do things. And if there wasn't a pandemic out there, I bet we could get him to come with us to a march. But there's a pandemic out there. Yeah. So it's just very interesting talking to him about things like that.
It's the same guy I always knew.
Well, yes. He vacillates between you're my daughter and you're a kid and you're an adult who has, points that are valid.
Yes, because he only has his father as a model.
Oh, yeah, and Earl. Yes. So, yes, you are dying of heat frustration. Why are you dying of heat frustration,
I finished something just 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you did.
My descending contours.
It looks so good. Ooh, you can do it. You can do it.
Okay.
It looks so good.
Last night I had it was up to here.
Right? Fuzzies. Yeah.
And this point
was a bit suggestive. Yes, we'll leave it there.
And it's the same
mirrored
thing
in the
back. Right?
So it covers your tuchus.
Yes.
So you can wear it with just your leggings.
Yes. And that was the point.
Yes.
You could stop it, she said, anywhere from here on down. So I am stopping it here. I have used all but... Let me get this out of the way. I put it away.
You put it away already? But it was maybe 50 grams.
Yes.
I think it was half of a ball.
It was this big.
So, yeah.
Here it is. Is this it? Yes.
Oh, yeah. So
that's all I have left.
Yeah.
So... Not bad.
No. And it's a good color on you. It looks really
quite
good.
Pleased.
Yes.
I am very pleased.
Well,
so, yes.
Before you pass out, why don't you divest?
And I think I've woven in just about everything. So.
Good. It's a good-looking sweater. And you said the test went well?
The test knit?
Yeah. Being a tester?
Yes. Let me get my glasses out of this. Okay. The designer was very responsive, so that was nice. She did not have pictures of the front and back all the way down to the bottom. So I thought she wanted to keep the 2x2 rib going all the way down, but as you can see,
instead of having this,
there's a pearl panel,
a reverse stockinette panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I wrote her and I said, your instructions to repeat rows 7 and 8 past a certain point are not going to give you the 2x2 rib. You could write it this way if that's what you want to do. And she says, no, I actually want that panel. And then she showed a picture of the front. So prior to this, the pictures had been side views.
Well, I mean, she's during the testing, so she's still formatting the pattern.
And there was something else I wrote her about that. Oh, the
bind off,
the sleeves.
The sleeve bind off.
The sleeve off. Let me take the sleeve off here. One stitch marker left and was on a holding piece of yarn, waste yarn, with this. And then you added another one here, so you ended up with 2 instead of 1. So your count on the stitch markers changed, and that meant with her next or the second row of instructions, it didn't make any sense because the count was off, and what she was counting stitch marker 4 was really stitch marker something else. The other thing is that she has wanted the tubular bind off, which is this one. Which I am not terribly pleased, and I think it's because you're going from a 2x2 down to a 1x1 and then doing the tubular, because the tubular cast off is a 1x1 cast off. I wrote her and I said, do you really? And I'm happier with this one because it's not as messy.
It's not as belled out.
Yeah. Well, and
it holds the 2x2 up, which is what, Yeah. But
anyway.
So these are the pros of having testers.
Yes.
And why we tend to sign up to do it.
Well, and I really did like the pattern of the sweater. I think it's really pleasing to me. As I said, I finished it 20 minutes ago. It has not been blocked. It's going to go into the washer and then be blocked afterwards. I put it in on hand wash, which is one less vigorous than delicate for us. But it gets it well wet and then spins it out.
So it kind of...
It settles everything in.
Yeah, I find it tends to just because when you're working on it, working on your projects, you're bunched up and... you might accidentally pull a stitch because of how, your markers or your hands are. And I find throwing it, if you're able to, if it's a superwash or if it's
a picture of me in it.
I can do that.
Yes.
Well, we can take a whole bunch of photos tomorrow.
Yes.
Because it should be nice tomorrow.
Should be nice tomorrow. I'll put it in the wash tonight and take it out, and so it won't be sopping.
I need to do my Vellichor, too. I need to throw my Vellichor in the wash, too. And if I finish this too. But what I was saying was, as long as it's not a non-super wash, and as long as you've already done it to the swatch, the key is to always do it on a swatch first.
You're good
because
about that. I'm not.
I am, because I've been burned. And by burned, I mean I've just tightened some things up that were supposed to have a little bit of positive ease that now are just no ease or a slightly negative ease, which is fine. So what I've been working on is my intentional knitting project, which is currently to finish the Artichoke French. So I finished the sleeves yesterday, and I figured out when I started, as I was figuring out how much I was going to be knitting on this project a day, on the Vellichor, I was knitting about 1,400 stitches a day.
Okay.
So I figured out, and on the sleeves, that converted to 14 rows. So 14 rows for 2 at a time sleeves. So now that I'm on the body, I cast the body on today, I do 10 rows a day, and I should be able to finish this within the 10 day, or not the 10 day, within the next 20 days or something like that, until the 100-day project is over. And then...
We'll have to put the descending contours in my stash dash.
Yes, we can. So then, I've gotten to the
this.
bottom.
I love these colors.
I know, it looks so good.
It's really elegant.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it'll look really good with my dark wash jeans.
I think
honestly.
So too.
I think it'll be really nice just to wear with jeans.
I think it'll be good to wear with jeans, a skirt.
I think it'll be good for work.
Great.
And I'm excited.
Black pants.
I know. It's going to be
really
great.
Nice.
So I just started on the ribbing. On the bottom, I have 2 inches of ribbing to do, and hopefully I will do that tonight. Considering that you and I don't sleep, it's possible.
You stay up till about 2 in the morning.
It's not good. It's not our healthiest life decision, but it's
but then
what happens.
I sleep until 8 at 6 hours.
I know.
So,
I know.
Which is pretty much what happened.
And
this
I get
morning.
to 9:30,
right.
so.
Right.
But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I'm very excited that my Artichoke French.
You should get a nap in the afternoon.
You do.
I got a nap this afternoon. So.
I have been partaking in naps recently just because there have been the storm systems that have been coming through, so my head has been.
And if I don't nap in the afternoon, then I fall asleep after the news and sleep for about an hour and a half. So I'm getting hours of sleep in, maybe not all at the same time. And one of the reasons I stay up late is to try to get my head to drain. Notice with trying to record for the choir that I have an incredible post-nasal drip. So trying to get the notes right means really clearing my throat. But, oh well, this too shall pass, and it was fine. So church was interesting this morning. She and I read.
Yes.
So we were lesson 1 and lesson 2. So that was nice. We've also took in our book club.
The book club,
Very
which
nice.
was good this week.
Yes, we're on to the next 2 chapters this coming week.
Hopefully my book will show up.
Well, if not, you can read mine.
I know. I'll figure it out. So yeah, so those are the things I'm working on, but what did you pick up after you finished your Descending Contours?
I picked up my Varna. So
Finally.
what I'm going to do is I'm doubling the stitches at the top. So I'm doing a knit row where I'm knitting front and back each stitch.
Wow.
So that is doubling it. So that should allow this neck to bell over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do a 1x1 rib, so to mimic what was already there, but there will be this one row that I think will be the help it turn, where it's the double stitches over. In my linen sweater, that's what she had me do.
Okay.
It was a doubling of the stitches, and that really brought it out.
Okay.
And I have an entire ball of yarn.
Yes, that you got from Asylum Fibers.
Yes, to do this with.
Yes.
So this collar is going to be this yarn.
Good. It's going to be giant. It's going to be great.
But I think that will be a nice... Oops, I just threw all of my stitch markers on the floor. I'll pick them up later. So I think that I'm really happy to be doing this so that then the sweater will be finished.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I did this week, because with all the knitting that I did last
and
weekend,
also because you did a thing to your finger.
That's a blood blister.
Super fun.
Yeah. On the boat, there is a head. In order to use the head, it's a pump system. So you need to bring seawater in to make the toilet flush into the holding tank. So you have to pull the stopcock this way. Well, my finger, I don't know how it got down at the bottom, but as I pulled it this way, it got caught. And that's what
it's healing, though, pretty well.
It's down before it was a bump. But yes, and then tonight, we called takeout, and my husband went to go get it, and I thought
he gets upset when we set up a delivery. I don't understand it, but
so I thought I heard his car. I got up and I unlocked the door. I opened the door. I waited. Nothing happened. I shut the door again. Started to walk away, and then I heard him on the front steps. So I turned to go unlock the door again, and these knuckles hit the corner of the wall. So I'm then shrieking.
She's shrieking, and it sounds like my mother has collapsed. So I'm thinking she's done something to her knee, or that my father's she's opened the door and father pushed it into her. And so I come running, and Dad's going, "What's going on?" Because he thinks he hurt her. It was...
Meanwhile, one of the knuckles is black and blue.
Lovely.
We did put ice on it.
Yes.
I really did hit a wall with it, not anybody. It's going to be sore tomorrow. But, these things happen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be picking up the stitches on the Varna and attaching that ball, and then probably stopping at that point and working on my... I just had it out.
You did?
On my counted cross stitch. So now this is what I've got.
You're just trucking along there.
I have done probably, 10 or 12 entire lengths of the floss.
Nice.
I don't know. It didn't seem like it was really doing a whole lot, but I'm really pleased. I'm now I change my approach each week. So this week, I did all of the red. Well, there's a red, and then there's an orange. All of the red in this area is done.
Good.
I then had black that was missing down in here. So I'm now going, and I'm going to do all the black within this quadrant. So that'll give me points of reference in addition to my cross-hatching as to where the other colors go. And I believe there's one or two other colors that will be used to fill in down here.
Probably a dark green or a gray or a brown
And then when I have those, then I will continue and try to fill in all of those. And eventually I will get this quadrant done. And then I'm going to...
You're going to move laterally or vertically?
I'm going to move laterally over to
fill in below where the...
Here.
Yeah.
because this is one pattern page, this is the other pattern page. So I'd like to finish the pattern page.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the point. I want to move this over to finish the pattern page and then move up.
Okay.
So that's the plan.
Nice.
But I'm very pleased. Very, very pleased.
You're really trucking along on it.
Well, I really like it. And then we did some rearranging of lamps in the living room. My embroidery chair, where my overhead lamp, well, it's a little low for the knees at the moment. And secondarily, it's in direct path of the air conditioner.
Yes.
So it can be a little frigid at this moment. This house runs on 3 air conditioners, 2 upstairs and 1 downstairs. So I hesitate to turn the one downstairs warmer because then it will make the kitchen
unbearable.
Really impossible.
Well, I mean, that's why I think that's why I have not been sewing as much because my sewing machine is right in
there.
line.
So I have now backed all the way to the front wall and the sofa, and I moved my overhead. It looks like a Snoopy lamp, where it's this big round shade with a very bright light that's right over my head now by the sofa instead of over that chair. And it means I can see, which is really lovely. Another cross stitch was delivered. I haven't ordered any more, although there are 2 or 3 that I'd like to get.
Bookmark them?
Yeah, well, they're saved on Amazon.
Okay.
Yes. There are river views of places where Rich and I have been.
Oh, nice.
So that would be nice, but I already have something like 10 of these things now.
I was going to say, get some...
So I figure if I get one done, then I can order another one.
Yes.
So I got this.
Good.
Anything else that you want to report on? Did you get any yarn in the mail?
I didn't. I have been, with everything that's going on, with the COVID pandemic and the fact that I am still on furlough, I am trying to not order any yarn
And
currently.
Krista's not doing any dyeing.
No, she currently is not dyeing, no.
So that's why things are not arriving in the mail.
Yes.
So I guess those memberships are just put on hold for the moment?
Yes.
Okay.
Essentially.
Because I know that we were getting...
we ended up essentially, canceling them for now because of what, everything that's happening. So I
did.
So I just have been working out of my stash, due to the fact that is what I have a significant amount of.
Yes,
and so I've been trying also, as you know, to work through whips.
Yes. So with the stash, working on a stash, it means that you can put all that information into Stash Dash. All right. So I will be adding my descending contours yardage information into my Stash Dash chart that she put up, that she made, which is great.
Have you been actually posting them to the Stash Dash threads? No, you're just doing this for yourself?
I don't know. I haven't looked at this stuff, so you and I
we
will have to
we can
discuss
go through this
it.
tomorrow or tonight.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah,
would be good.
Yeah, okay.
Or tonight later.
Yeah.
Yes. So then on Harry Potter, the descending contours, I have to decide whether I'm turning that in for my mission, which I could, or whether I'm turning it in now for. What's the thing that you started last month and then have put in this month?
Detention.
And I have a picture with it just up to here, so I can say, here's the whole thing. So I could do that. So I have to go downstairs and look at my original thought about mission and see when mission actually stops.
Yeah.
To see how much time I have left. I have not worked anything on my circular travel sweater at all this week. I was all looking to finish the descending contours. I find that being a test knitter gives me a lot of tension because I don't want to disappoint the designer. And I am a project knitter. I really do want to get these things done, but it makes me like overtime as a project knitter. So right now my hands, besides the fact that I whacked one into the wall, my hands are a little sore from all the knitting. So I anticipate getting more of my counting cross stitch done in the next couple days. I did start my...
Oh, you cast it on?
Yes,
Oh.
Boy Lollipop. So I've got the first 2 rows done. The next row, it will go into the round. I find that when I have all these stitches, it's usually better if I wait until I get a few rows so that I really can see what's the inside and what's the outside of the work before I join it in the round. And then what I have is I have a long enough tail on the cast on to be able to seam those couple rows. And then you're not taking it out and doing it all over again. So this is my Boy Lollipop. But Harry Potter Knitting Crocheting Club Quidditch 3 has just started, and what they want is there's an octopus or a squid in the whole clue thing, and they're looking for ways to keep that poor guy's arms or legs warm.
Okay.
So they said you could make hats. Most of the suggestions are for socks. So I have peacock.
Hedgehog fibers.
Hedgehog fiber sock yarn. Clever. And it is superwash. It's 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. So obviously superwash. And the Skew socks that Elizabeth has made were one of the suggested patterns, and it is a free pattern. So I said, you know what, I could make a pair of Skew socks in a week.
Probably.
I make plain vanilla socks in
a
week. So I'm thinking about Skew socks in peacock. I think they'll be fun. I have over this past winter, worn holes in a couple pairs of socks. So wouldn't be terrible to have another pair of socks. So that's up here. And then, yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's more. I know it's only June.
Oh, well.
But
gotta be prepared.
Susan Anderson or Barret Yarn Company. It was in my email. Obviously, I need to stop reading my email. But she has come up with a kit for Oliver Pig. Yes, I thought he was adorable.
Pretty cute.
He's knit on size 5 double pointed needles. This is going to take me a while because I tend to stab myself with double pointed. But Chloe, my grandniece, is going to be getting Oliver as a Christmas present. So if any of you have an idea about Christmas presents and making Christmas presents this year, it's not a terrible thing to start now, especially if you're going to be doing something that is not as
in your wheelhouse.
Exactly. That's the word, not in your wheelhouse. And double pointed needles are not in my wheelhouse. What's nice about Susan Anderson patterns, and nice about this pattern included, is that they're all in one piece, except for Oliver's outer sweater. So he starts with the head, you do ears, so you have the head made, and then you come up here.
She's very clever with her
ears, and then you come down. And his under sweater actually forms the body. So you need fleece, which I have. I have to find what I did with it, but I have
the polyfill.
There it is.
Behind, there's fleece, and I think we've got polyfill.
I know we have polyfill, but I can also use fleece. I'm okay with this. I tend to think that I'm going to spin much more than I normally do.
Yeah, the polyfill is just over there.
Oh, yeah, I see it. And then another thing, just off the top of my head, something I saw while I was wandering through, again, my email. I think it was Liz Gibson, who is a weaving teacher. And in fact, someone I took a weaving class at Rhinebeck with a couple of years ago. They're talking about Advent calendar weaving. So you take those tiny pieces, skeins that we've got, and you do a warp of one color. And I've got cones of yarn that can be used for the warp. And then you use your 20-gram minis to do the across.
The weft.
Yes. And you could do it so that it is a cascade of colors or all kinds of things. So I thought, that is really interesting. And so scarves, you could do with that. The other thing I wanted to start was maybe making some towels. Well, I've got the cotton.
I know.
In fact, the cotton is what I bought to be weaving towels.
You could do all kinds of stuff.
Yes, the world is my oyster, and there's just not enough hours in the day, and no wonder my husband says that I can survive a pandemic with little or no problem with self-isolation.
No problem.
No
at
problem.
All
None.
For her.
None. He suggests, the other day I thought he'd lost his mind. He says, we can invite people out on the boat with us. I went, no, we can't. No, because I have no idea how good they are at self-isolating.
Yeah, we can only invite people who we trust will answer the question of, how have you been?
Well, he was actually talking about people who have adult children who may be doing God knows what. And I'm going, no, you can go out with them if you want, but I'm not going out with them. And they're nice people. It's not a them thing. It's a germ thing. So the answer is, I'm not doing that. We have friends that also have boats, and we said we could meet up with them.
Yes.
Yes, a boat meet up where we each stay on our own boat.
And we go,
hello! You pour your drink, I'll pour my drink. We have canapes.
We go, cheers!
Cheers! You have your canapé, I'll have my canapé, and we can do it that way. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't want to be on a boat with anybody who's not related to me. I really don't. And I think that way I'll get through this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hoping to do is get through to whenever my knee can be fixed. And then what happens after that happens after that. I mean, I'm not going to let down my guard, but I do want to make it to surgery because the knee is really giving me problems.
Yeah.
In fact, both knees are giving me problems.
But let's get the one that you've seen the
yes.
doctor about fixed
Oh,
first, because
absolutely.
it could be a compensation thing that's happening with the other one.
Absolutely. No question about that's possible. So anyway, Oliver came this week, and I really can't wait to really cast him on to get him started. So there's a bunch of things. Finishing, casting on. I haven't done anything with that cardigan. I think I actually want to incorporate...
The art yarn cardigan you're talking about?
Yes, weights, I think.
Dress weights?
Dress weights. And I have to think about how I want to do that because I want it weighted to the front. So maybe down a button band, that might be. So I have to think about that. If anybody's got an idea of how you would weight the cardigan so that it would stay comment. That would be really great. We do read the comments. She's been checking. I've been looking. So that would be great. And I can't think of anything else. I mean, we plan to go and do boating. Next weekend we were going to go out overnight. My knee hurts so much that I said, why don't we just go out for day trips?
Which is fine.
So that's probably what we'll do. And then come home and have dinner. And, the difference that the pandemic is making, normally we would stop for dinner on the way home from the boat. So we would be...
We could still do takeout.
We could talk to your father about that. I was also hoping the seafood guy next door makes some great scallops.
We could.
So we'll have to see if they're
do some
open.
research. Yeah.
But we would stop for dinner on the way home because you're tired, you're hungry. It would be nice. So now that Long Island is opening up to stage 3, I think just now.
I don't know.
Very, very recently, and New York is supposed to be stage 3, like the 10th of July, something like that, which is good because I need to get my hair cut. It sounds so mundane, but
you're also gonna. But also, you do, but you're in a.
There's a lot of this.
Yeah, but
so I'd like to have the first appointment
of the day.
And go see the guy that normally cuts my hair And what were you saying? I should wait?
I was gonna say maybe not. I was gonna say maybe not be the first week, but
oh no,
you know,
but
after
the first one of the day.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say let's let the city do phase 3 and see how they handle it, and then.
Well, yeah. So that should wait 2 weeks.
But
I would drive in.
Yes.
There is a parking lot not very far
Okay.
from where they are, and I think that's better than trying to take the subway.
Yes.
For
you, yes, with your knee, yes.
You know, so for me, it will be even hard walking up the ramp to the sidewalk. But, you know, get my hair cut, because then it will be short for when I get my knee done, so then I can easily, you know, keep my hair washed and stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So, anything else new and exciting?
Well, we all know how much I like test knits. I'm finishing one now, and I
couldn't believe when she told me.
I got reached out to on Instagram this morning because I commented on a photo of a design that was forthcoming, saying if you need test knitters, which doesn't usually pan out. It panned out.
No, I have tried that before.
So, this is the Sulalu. I will have to ask.
It's Finnish.
It's Finn, yes. So it's beautiful. It's fingering weight again. I've picked my yarn, I think, from my virtual stash because I only got it this morning and I've been here all day. I've already read through the pattern, had a lot of questions already, had a whole conversation with the designer about different aspects of the pattern just by reading through it. So I feel bad saying that, but then she pointed out that apparently Finnish patterns are
kind of like Elizabeth Zimmerman.
Very much like Elizabeth Zimmerman patterns. So once I knew that, it all became much more clear. But also the fact that it's written differently. One thing I learned is that they use the phrase slim fit for something that has little to no ease.
Slim fit?
Slim fit.
Interesting.
So, because I asked for a definition, and I said either, or you could change the wording in the English, and when you post it, to say that it's that to choose a size close to your bust, so that to your full bust circumference, so that you have minimal ease. It's minimal. It's just body skimming.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Though there is no shaping in it, so it is a bit boxy, but if you go from your bust down, it still can be.
Oh, it can be lovely.
And that's
but the
considered.
term we normally use is boxy for something like that, I think.
I mean, it could be a boxy kind of sweater, but I would also have thought of saying, the ease is negligible. You could have anywhere from -2 to +2, inches
but
of ease.
For your bust size, it'll be 0 to maybe +4.
Or -4, depending on your own.
How you want it.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, that was it. And she very much appreciated that, and that was a whole conversation, which was lovely. And I'm having a really lovely time just having conversations with her over the past day. So I'm very excited to go home and pick out my yarn for it. I'm thinking of using a gray kind of tweed alpaca I have that has been in my stash for a while. Mm-hmm. And maybe a bright purple or a teal or maybe a soft. I'm debating a soft green or blue too. So there might be. Well, obviously there will be swatching in our future because we all know that I love a swatch.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm very excited about this test. The instructions don't exactly match the inspiration
picture.
A garment, I guess, is the best way to put it.
And that's the one she made for these instructions.
Or no, that's the one she made and then wrote the instructions. So I might talk to her about making it a little bit more like what's in the photos, because that's what I fell in love with. But we will see, as it is a test knit.
Right.
I am trying to do the best to make it so that, or to help her in her patterning so that the most people can possibly make it.
I'm not doing a test knit for a while again, because I've got my...
You've got so many things you want to do.
I've got my black and white sweater that started downstairs.
Yes.
I've got my Varma, which I guess I could finish in a week.
Probably.
And get that really done. I've got the socks that are there. And my circle sweater that we have to see when it needs to be done by. Yeah. But I'm happy that I will have finished the thing that somebody else was relying on. That's my big deal.
Yeah. So I'm excited that my Cranesbill will be done probably today.
Very nice.
And I'm debating casting something else on has a little bit of a larger gauge. Even though I have the Artichoke French, that is...
that's a big gauge.
It is, but I also just realized that I worked on the jig shawl during church, and that is downstairs because I put it in my backpack to bring it on the boat too. So I started section 3 of that. So maybe I'll just work on that shawl with the advent calendar yarn.
Yeah,
that could work. Keep finishing things. Finishing things is the name of the game.
It really is. It gives you so much pleasure to say that part is done.
Yeah. So,
anything else, my dear?
I want to get some sewing done, but it's the air conditioner.
It is. And what I did is I gathered all of my gauze and toile downstairs because I really like the billowy, piratey type of shirts to go sailing in. I made this. This dress is probably 35 years old.
I was going to say, I've known it almost all of my life.
All of your life. This is a Lilly Pulitzer
print
fabric.
Yes.
Yes. It wears like iron.
It does. You had 2 of them.
I did. One I threw out for some unknown reason. I was stupid. I think I was trying to get back to a design aesthetic. So stupid.
It was purple.
Lovely. No,
it was
lilac.
Black no, yes, there's a lilac.
There's a lilac one. That one I didn't. That one was in a pattern that really wasn't appropriate for that dress.
Oh.
So that one I think is gone.
Oh.
But there was a black and white one.
I don't recall the black and white one.
That actually I made to fit right. And it had a tie neck.
See, I don't recall that.
But
I'm not shocked by any of these attributes.
They wear like iron.
They do. It does.
And so I would love to have a few more of these things to be able to throw them in a suitcase, ball them up in a knot. They shake out. They're very comfortable. They breathe.
But yeah, you also like your billowy shirts.
My billowy shirts. So I've got something like 8 pieces of fabric downstairs that could be made into a billowy shirt. I have a pattern.
And we have the leggings.
So I could be all set. Anyway.
The problem is that there's not enough time for all of this, but also that air conditioner is high-powered.
It is.
So
we may have to find another place to cut out. I'm thinking kitchen table instead of dining room table.
I mean, I can still cut there.
You could move your sewing machine to the other side of the table.
It doesn't. I need then an extension cord.
Well, that's okay. I think we have extension cords.
Okay, the last time I asked for an extension cord, I got a whole situation out of Father's.
I can order an extension cord. I can order one that has 6 heads or something.
I'm just saying, the last time I asked for an extension cord, there was a little bit of a hullabaloo, and then he got distracted, and I was just like, I'm not going there.
Well, we can
work on this.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah.
Yes. Oh, should we tell him about the suitcase?
So we've discussed with you all the suitcase that my mother had been looking for to fit her foldable bicycle in. It is she ordered one.
Because the bicycle company does not make a hard case for this bicycle to be carried on vacations with you. But I got a foldable bicycle to take with me in different places. So I had been looking on YouTube, and what people had said is they had been packing them in 30-inch suitcases. Well, my 30-inch suitcase...
threw a wheel like 2 years ago.
Yes. The wheel came off, either in the taxi going to the airport or at the airport on the way home. So it ended up literally dragging the suitcase, a 30-inch suitcase, through the next 2 airports. And I'm telling you, when you have to make a connection in Miami and you're dragging the suitcase through the airport, it's really tiring. And that's when I had a better knee. Mm-hmm. Now, it would be incredible. So I wanted to get a suitcase that had 4 wheels so that it could stand up and I could push it along instead of dragging the monster behind me. And a 30-incher would be great, because then if we could figure out how to fold up the bicycle so it could fit in it, we could do it. So there was a massive sale at Saks Off 5th, I think it was.
Nordstrom Rack?
It was either Nordstrom Rack or Saks Off 5th.
And she got a suitcase.
And I got a suitcase. And
it's huge.
Yes. It's 30.
It's huge, y'all. Huge.
It certainly goes in the belly of the plane.
Yes. It certainly, we are not team check-in or carry-on with this, this one. No.
But then the bicycle would make it too heavy anyway. The bicycle weighs 27 pounds. So, I can pack, Elizabeth and I tried packing the bicycle in the suitcase. We believe it'll fit if we take the wheels off.
The seat.
And the seat. Well, the seat comes out. That's not a problem. The seat and I are not friends at the moment because it was collapsing on me last week. So
she was riding it.
Yes.
This is the key part of this statement.
I couldn't figure out why it was getting so hard until I realized I had sunk. So I stopped. I raised the seat up. A few more blocks, it was down again. So I
gave it a stern talking to?
I have to actually tighten a nut that allows you then to make the lever clamp a little tighter. That doesn't work. We're going to bore holes in it and put a screw or something in
a bar
right through it to hold it at a certain point, because I'm not going to get any taller. So I should be able, I'll be able to say this is the height my seat should be at when it's up. So not a problem. Anyway, so take the seat off, take at least one of the wheels off. You can put it in. That will then let it...
We didn't fully test this. We just laid the bike in it.
I don't want to take the wheel off that's holding the derailleur. I think that might be a bit much. But we did try putting the whole bicycle in, and we could see how it would fit.
Yes.
So this will hold my bicycle, and then I can pack clothes around it, and then I can pack more clothes in a carry-on, and that should be okay. And that'll get me to wherever my destination is, not this year until after we have vaccine, but it'll get me to a destination with my bicycle, which will be really nice.
So the point of the story is that it's huge.
Yes, it is.
And
it came in a ginormous box. And, of course, my husband said, "What is this?" And I said, "It's a suitcase to replace the one I had where the wheel came off. We could have repaired that." No, we couldn't have repaired that because we lost the wheel.
And we threw the suitcase out.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago. It's gone. There is no repairing. So he said, "Well, where is it?" I said, "Well, it's downstairs in the playroom. I don't see it." "Well, go down the stairs and look at my sewing machine." He goes, "Oh, there it is." I said, "Yes."
He had already been through that room 3 times since I had gotten home.
So I didn't hide it. It was on a deep discount. It was like 65% off.
Which is lovely.
Which is great.
But so that was just a story of how oblivious my father can be sometimes.
And how I'm planning for traveling in the future.
Yes. But I think... I
wear my helmet.
Yes.
So I have my helmet. I have my bike helmet. I wear bicycle gloves because my hands tend to get numb gripping the handlebars. I have a new headlight that is rechargeable. Very excited about that.
Good.
And it is from a Kickstarter that I supported. That I got an email that says my headlamp is on its way. So that I got for the boat. because it will make it easier when trying to pick up the mooring in the dark, as well as doing a bunch of other things in the boat.
Not that you all have like 2 or 3 headlamps or anything.
This is supposed to be. This is
Beam of Destiny.
Yeah, but and it's like a polyplexy thing, so it's
okay.
No, I have several.
Because I've bought you a few.
Yes. You bought me one, and I appreciate that. And then I bought another one because your father took the one you bought me and is using it.
I was so mad.
This one is supposed to be very bright. Incredibly bright. In fact, if we could look at the head.
Well, I was going to say, but also, you're not the one picking up the mooring anymore.
Not anymore. No. You never know.
Okay.
It's never bad to have a good headlamp.
You're right. You are right.
So
but
anyway.
I think it's time to weave in our ends that we don't have just yet.
I
will have in a little bit. But
I have ends now where I restarted. So they can be woven in. Anyway, guys, we will see you next week. Yes. We should be able to record it either Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
Right. Because we'll probably will not be overnighting on the boat. But we have our kayak and our paddleboard ready. Oh! And we picked up a floaty.
You did pick up a floaty.
Thursday. One of the days we were out, and we were still fixing the sails on the boat. So we were adjusting the reefing lines. And
he is really focused on the reefing lines.
I looked over and I said, well, we already picked up a piece of styrofoam like this, big.
It was on Thursday.
Dirty. So we picked up the styrofoam, and then I said, look, Richard, there's something over there, and I think we ought to check it out because I want to make sure it's not a body.
It was this, y'all.
Yeah.
It's a large tow behind a powerboat
floaty
tube thing,
but no hole in the middle. In other words, it's covered with a canvas.
Yeah.
I think it's at least 4 feet in diameter.
So
it's something that you could sit out on or lay out on, tied back to the boat. And it's something I've always wanted. Of course, I wanted one that had a canopy over it.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. So we have toys now. I've always said that you get to Block Island or you get to Cutty Hunk or you get to a number of these places where there's really nice harbors and you drop your anchor or you pick up a mooring and there you sit and you go, now what? You're looking at each other going, now what? Because you don't want to sail away during the day because you'll lose your spot. Now we have toys, and it's really fun. So we really do enjoy it. We will be then playing on the kayak and the paddleboard and the floaty this coming weekend during the day. And really, I'll wish everybody a very happy July 4th because it will be July 5th or 6th before we record again. So happy July 4th. Enjoy it safely. Try not to hurt yourself with any fireworks, please.
Wear your masks.
Yes.
We will end with be safe and wear your darn masks.
Yes.
Talk to y'all later.
Guys.
Bye.